Alright, so I'm probably doing this the wrong way, but this is the way that I'm doing it, and it's my way, and you can't tell me any different because, I don't know, I'm a stubborn redneck. So, I put a chisel mark on each side of where it originally mates up to. Now, this is apparently a custom drive shaft. I don't know if it is or not, but obviously with the axle swap and whatever is going on. So we took this one out. You can see the chisel mark there. That way we can kind of maintain the balance. You can look up a video on how to swap U-joints. It's not rocket science. So just so that I remember, I put 3 marks on this side for the side that has the slip yoke. So, way I do it, I just use the air hammer, punch it down, use the pliers to grab the cap, pull it out on that side, and then I put just a dab of grease in here to make sure that it's going to go straight, because you don't want to ruin this race here. And then push it back up through, take the cap off. Yeah, so not much to do. I will show you the front drive shaft, because there's a trick to doing that. Let's say you have a stuck cap, right? So you've tried using your pliers and twisting it to pull up. You can't get a good grip. So take your air hammer with a chisel bit and just lightly, remember, come at a slight angle. Doesn't have to be a huge angle. You'll slip off quick. And then just see? Watch that pop right up. Now you can take it off. Apply your grease. Switch to your punch. Make sure this is fairly straight. Okay. Now will this one. There we go. Now you can take it out, just like that. So this is what's called a double Cardan. I've put marks for where they reassemble. Now what a lot of people don't tell you when they're redoing these, they just kind of show you the process. They don't really explain anything. And they skip over the disassembly part, which is the hardest part. See, if you know how to take it together, if you know how to take it apart, you can put it back together. That's what I was trying to say. What you got to do is you got to get this lined up, and you got to support this structure. You can't try and hammer it out when it's flexed like that. So hold that. Put my ear protection on. There we have it. Now we can get this part. Take that out. So I guess it doesn't really matter which one you do, because either one of these is now just basically like a regular U-joint without the middle piece. But look at the dust shield on that, eh? Another run to the parts store or Rock Auto. So now we just remove it like a normal U-joint. So it would be more wise to take out this one first and then this one. But either way, you can at least get it apart now. So we should be able... There we go. Beautiful. Then, what we got to do to service the old drive shaft. So this is another slip yoke, and they're kind of on here. There's a little hole there, apparently. And just pull it off. It basically just pulls off, and then grease it. So there's, see that blue? Don't take that off. That's kind of like some kind of plastic or Teflon coating. It's basically like a lubricating surface for that. But you can clean it and take the grease off. And I should mention, if you're having issues, so especially on the installation, take a hammer and carefully just tap, not much harder than that, on this part of the yokes, and that kind of aligns these teeth. Especially it's more apparent on like this U-shape style. Just give it a couple taps there. That'll kind of align those yokes and allow that it'll straighten those bearing caps for you. And sometimes the air hammer isn't quite enough to get it to come through. So what you can do is just take a socket, sacrificial socket, mind you, and a 2-pound sledge works so much better than any other hammer, and just smack it, just set it in, and then just wham, because the socket's of course going to go flying, and you're going to have to pick it up every time, so give it a nice good whack. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, get it brushed off, and we're totally not going to paint this one either, because it doesn't need it. Like, look at it, it doesn't even have any rust on it. Especially this one. Like, this one is like rust free, man. Like, there's no reason to coat this with anything. Alright, I should mention as well, I'm going to be using one of these little wire wheels to get in and around, get any corrosion or whatever out of that little channel, so that when you put the clips back in, they seat properly. Alright, so we got this all cleaned out, and after all the needle bearings fell out, I put them back in there, and everything fits in there. You just put a little grease, that way they stick in there. I put them in with a non-magnetic flat blade, so hopefully this is going to be good. New one of these is like $55 with shipping on Rock Auto, so I'm like, you know what? I don't need it. This one looks fine, so you can always put another one in later. Of course, this being Canada, this piece is also like $30. This rubber boot with it's got metal on the back, so yeah, maybe I'll probably just clean this up and put it back on, because, thanks Trudeau. Anyway, we got all of this nicely washed down with brake clean, and unfortunately I ran out of brake clean, so we're gonna probably, it's mostly coated. There's a little, I didn't quite get it, and of course that other piece there, but it's good enough. Nobody's gonna really look at it. They're just gonna look, oh, look at that, it's red, and then just get back up. It probably would have been smarter if I waited till I put in the U-joints to paint them. I don't know. Oh well. Got this like kind of cleaned out as well, so we're going to repack with grease. Unfortunately, can't really quite get all the way down there. There's still some crud. Alright, so it pretty much goes back together the same way you took it apart. So, I don't know what's wrong with these clips. I think it's always that because I've always had every single U-joint I've ever put in, they stand a bit proud, and that That's pretty much universal on every side. Sometimes you gotta hammer them to get them into that groove, just like to push them in a little bit. It's either that the actual U-joint caps are like slightly wider, or these are like slightly thicker. And I'm gonna judge that these are slightly thicker over the years. But in any case, the way you want, here's the thing. So this one can probably, like, I probably should have put this grease nipple on, like, flipped it around so that it was on this side. But I can still kind of get to that one, at least when I move it like that now. Of course, I just duct tape that. It's just like a little dust seal over that that center joint. But this one I remembered, and I actually put it facing outward. So when you, well, okay, I didn't remember. I screwed it up because it wouldn't go against the center section. So just remember that if you have greasable U-joints, the position of the grease nipple is important as well. And, of course, you should be able to, this should move fairly freely. It's a little tight going this way, but there you go. This should ride smoothly as well. Alright, so we're getting the old drive shaft in, and this yoke or slip yoke here is supposed to have like a locating tab. I don't know if that actually like has the locating groove on the 240 or 231, but the 242 doesn't look like it has one. So whatever, it's gotten on there, so it'll probably vibrate, and I'll probably have to do something about that. So that's going to be nice to deal with later on. You always need stuff to work on, right? So unfortunately, when I was putting the yoke bolts in, I whiskeyed the hell out of them, and I couldn't believe, like, I was just like tightening them, like hand tight, and what I thought was hand tight, right? Because it says you're supposed to do them to like what, 20 foot-pounds. Well, man, I don't even know if I got there, because this, you can see it's all stretched, and the head is now off kilter. So I had to order some new a new strap kit. So hopefully that'll come in soon, and I'll be able to get that going. But yeah, that's kind of been ticking me off. Like, really, like, you can't, like, of all the things that should be horsed down, that should be horsed down the hardest. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those points where it's designed to fail here so that it doesn't mess other things up. But yeah, it was crazy. I don't know. I just felt like it should have been a lot more. So we got the front drive shaft on, and it looks like that grease fitting. That'll self-clearance, right? So we got that out, and it's on the bench. Alright, so this is how I'm doing the front U-joints. Got a ball joint clamp, and because these ones they have a different style end on them. And yeah, this one it didn't quite go as planned, I mean, life usually doesn't go as planned, but I wasn't expecting that. I think this is like hardened steel. Look at it's like a powdered metal, man. Crap. It certainly hasn't been greased or changed in a long time, so these might even be the original 98 U-joints. Looks like I could use an axle seal as well, but I already changed the front diff fluid, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. Did I get all the bolts? Yeah, should only be 3 of them. All right. Oh, shoot. Holy crap. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. All right. All right. So we got the new one in, got it greased. It doesn't have a traditional grease fitting. You can actually grease this one, it looks like, but I just took one off of an old U-joint and stuck it on there, greased it, and then put this cap back in. Some more gear oil leaked out while I took that out, but we'll just top it up when this is all done. Put some copper anti-seize on there. Try not to go crazy, but I did. This wheel bearing doesn't look too bad. It doesn't have a lot of play. That's what we're looking for anyway. And of course the dust shield is rusted right to it, so that's even better. Gonna put some never sees on those 12-point bolts, and then get probably dug into the wheel well. Actually, I got to take this off, and I don't know if I'll be able to like patch that together, but I'll try anyway, and then get her coated with a proper color. But I got the new wheel wells plastic liners there too, so we'll get those in. Oh, and when I had that 3-link down, we bent up quite a bit of stuff down here, so I didn't realize there was so much stuff to bend up down there, so we'll get that taken care of too.